So, hello everyone. My name is Ritesh, and today's our topic is in and out. So, by hearing this, you may imagine about a machine, maybe where you put a raw product in and you get a finished product out. So, you might think about that, yes, but we are going to talk about our digestive system. Yes, it is also kind of machine, but it is inside us. So we are going to see about that today, and there are many interesting things. And you also have studied this in your school, but this is different. So let's see. Eat and repeat. So imagine that you are sitting at breakfast, enjoying some sandwich and some fruit veggies. When you are finished, you take the last drink of milk, wipe your mouth, and then head to your school. But in a few minutes, you've completely forgotten about what you have just ate. Yeah, this happens many a time that you just forgot what you have ate because you don't constantly think about that, and that's why your brain doesn't memorize it and it doesn't recall what we have just ate. So it's like that. But it's still in your stomach, and thus the eat and repeat cycle goes on. Ever wonder what happens in stomach after we eat? So let's see what happens. And imagine you're having a breakfast, and this is imagine that you are having what some sandwiches and oranges, and this is a common scenario we always face in morning. But the mouth starts everything moving. So your digestive system started working even before you took the first bite. Example, when you smell a tasty food or see it or think about it, digestion begins. Just imagine that you just have thought about that, like, yeah, I have to eat pani puri, like it's very tasty and its taste is. So you start building saliva in your mouth, and that is where that is what the first step where the digestion of food begins, and saliva begins to form in your mouth. So, when you eat, the saliva breaks down the chemicals in the food a bit, slightly, which help make the food mushy and easy to swallow. So you can feel some kind of liquidized. It is easy to swallow. And your tongue helps out pushing the food around while you chew with your teeth, and that is very important because we just can chew some part of the food, but other part is not uh, chewed by our teeth. So tongue help us in that, pushing the food here and there, the remaining food which is yet to be chewed. So here we can see some food, and here the enzymes, here saliva, here is the starch, and saliva is produced. These contain an enzyme which starts breaking down the starch particles in the apple. For example, we have eaten an apple. That's why it is given. So when you're ready to swallow, the tongue pushes a tiny bit of mushed food called a bolus towards the back of your throat and into the opening of esophagus, the second part of digestive tract. So this basically tongue also helps in pushing the food uh, toward back of your tongue, and where the opening of esophagus is there. The esophagus is a stomach pipe which we'll be studying right now. And by the way, here it is some mistake. There is double O, but there is only single O here. So extremely sorry for that. Now on the way down. So the esophagus is like this stretchy pipe that's about 10 centimeters or 20 sorry 10 inches, about 25 centimeters long. It moves food back from the it moves the food from the back of your throat to your stomach, but also the back of your throat is your windpipe, which allows air to come in and out of your body. Like you can see here, here is the mouth and this is the esophagus. This is the stomach and this is your mouth. And you can see this small pipe. So this is nothing but the windpipe, we can say, which goes to the lungs. So there is a special flap to ensure that food enters esophagus and not in the windpipe. It is called epiglottis. So here we can see there might be a flap which only allow the food to go through esophagus and only allow the wind to go through the windpipe. So once the food has entered the esophagus, it doesn't just drop right into the stomach. Instead, the muscles in the walls of esophagus move in a wavy way to slowly squeeze the food to the esophagus. It takes about 2 to 3 seconds. So imagine this one wall and this is the wall. So when the food is dropped here, it is not directly dropped into your stomach straight away, but rather than these muscles actually move in a wavy pattern by containing your food and pressing your food down. So this takes about 2 to 3 seconds to reach the food from uh, upper end to lower end into your stomach. So see you in stomach. Your stomach, which is attended to the end, it is attached to the end of the esophagus. It is stretchily sac shaped like a letter J. So it has three basic and important jobs. To store the food we have eaten, to break down the food into a liquid mixture, and to slowly empty that liquid mixture into the small intestine. What is small intestine? We'll be studying further right now. So the stomach is like a mixture crunching and mashing together all the small balls of food that come down to esophagus into smaller and smaller pieces, further smaller pieces. So this is, you can see like a small J like structure. This is like J structure. So this is nothing but the stomach, and this is the opening for stomach. So this is mouth, then this is esophagus, and here is where the food is come and stored. And after storing that, our stomach break down the food into a liquid mixture and slowly empty that mixture into small intestine. So the small intestine is a long tube actually that's about 1 by 2 inches to 2 inches, or about we can say 3.5 to 5 centimeters around, and it's packed inside you beneath your stomach, like exactly down to your stomach. So the small intestine basically breaks down the food mixture even more so that your body can absorb all the vitamin, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, and fats present in that food. So this is, we can see a diagram of small intestine. It's like a very wavy like structure, and this is the one opening, and this is other opening. So to extract the nutrients, small intestine takes help of liver, pancreas, and gallbladder. These all other also help small intestine to gather those things and absorb them into the body. So these organs send different juices to small intestine which help them to digest the food and allow body to absorb the nutrients. And this is just down to the stomach. Now we can say large intestine. So at 3 or 4 inches around, or about we can say 7 to 10 centimeter, the large intestine is present. So it is a fatter, it's fatter than the normal or small intestine, and it's almost the last stop on the digestive tract. So here we can see this in this animation. Here after the stomach, and this is the small intestine portion, and from this it is the large intestine portion. So you can see here the animation where the food goes. Now the food is in stomach and broken down for protein. In the small intestine, food is made into the liquid of undigested waste material and water. So then it goes into the large intestine where water is absorbed into bloodstream, and then slowly, finally the food waste is there. So here we can see the full procedure. Here you we just eat the food, then it drops down, and then it's in your stomach. And the further process is going as I've told you earlier. This was small intestine, and this is large intestine. So after most of the nutrients are removed from the food mixture, there is a waste left over. Now, that is basically the stuff that your body cannot use. So this stuff needs to be passed out of the body because we cannot store it, and it is basically uh, we cannot use it. So there is no point of saving that food in our body. So before it goes, it passes through the part of the large intestine called the colon, which is where the body gets its last chance to absorb the water and some minerals into the blood. If there are present some minerals, then the large intestine pushes the waste product into the rectum, the very last stop on the digestive tract. That is very last stop. The solid waste stays there until you're ready to go in bathroom. So that is what basically the large intestine is known for. It basically absorb whatever the water is present, and if any minerals are present, it is basically the last chance for body to absorb those things. Now, think time. So here's a question. What if our stomach stop functioning properly? You can imagine what will happen if our stomach stop functioning properly. We cannot get nutrients, or body will not be able to break down the food into smaller elements. And if that was not possible, how will small intestine and large intestine will get or will be able to absorb those nutrients and minerals? And that's why our body will stop functioning, because they will not get the energy and the required things whichever they require from those. So stomach is very important, and we have to properly maintain it, make sure that nothing should happen to it. So now let's discuss what we have discussed up till now or in today's session. So it's basically chewing your food properly can help in smooth digestion and nutrient absorption. When you chew your food properly, your body releases digestive enzymes in the stomach that helps to break down food so that your body can convert it into the energy. The simple act of chewing food in your mouth helps to break down larger particles of food into the smaller particles. This helps to reduce stress on the esophagus and thereby helps the stomach to metabolize your food. Metabolize means usually just uh, taking all the nutrients from it and use your food basically. So when the food is chewed properly, you also releases a lot of saliva, which contains digestive enzyme. As you release these enzymes into the throat and stomach, it helps to improve the digestion process. So these all are the things which we learned today, and we also learn about everything else, like what are the other parts included. Like we just saw here, like liver, pancreas, and gallbladder also help small intestine to process some things, and that's why these all are also some parts helping us. Uh, okay, thank you. If you have any other questions, you can just put in the comments down, and I will try to answer them. So thank you, everyone.